In the level 1 DVD, every time your opponent grabs you by the neck like this. So we have to assume they won't always grab you by the neck like that. So for example, they could do this. Now if they do, what you want to do is first point your head outside of the arm that you're going to attack. Now both hands will come up to grab the arm and pull it in. You'll capture the leg exactly as in the level 1 and then lift up and over. So another option the enemy would have would be to put his arm around your neck and to face out to one side. As he does this, you're going to first push your head down like that to trap my arm. Your hand will come on the outside, pushing it in. Your backside, your palm will go on the hip bone like this to help rotate him over. So head down, punching the arm in, and capturing the leg exactly as in level 1, up and over. The third option primarily happens when you're fighting someone much bigger than you. So a much bigger person can pin your wrists to the ground such as this. And when this happens, you're not going to be strong enough probably to power up that arm to attack. So what you want to do is take one of your hands and trace a big circle around your head. To do this, you're going to have to roll over onto your side, so it'll look like this. Now when you get that arm all the way outside of my arm, and notice he still hasn't lifted his hand, your leg will be capturing my leg just by laying on it, similar to the level 1, and at this point, up and over, just like before. These are the 3 additional ways to trap the arm for level 2. When you have reached side control on your enemy, you're going to attempt to mount. Now, as we're attempting the technique in the level 1 DVD, I'm going to put my hand back and then I'm going to sit my legs through. At this point, many times the enemy will prop one of his legs up. It could be either this leg or it could be this other leg, whichever one. When he does this, you want to use his legs to make it easier for you to get on top. So what I'm going to do now is put my arm underneath his shoulder and I'm going to pull up with it as I drive the top leg into the bottom leg. So for example, this leg was close to me, was up, I drive it into the bottom leg. You can see how his spine is twisted at this point, pulling here, pushing here. At this point, I'm going to drive my knee over like this and hook my foot on his leg, only releasing this foot as I release his shoulder to achieve the mount as his spine uncoils. Now, if it was the other leg that was up, I would need to push with my chest into his shoulder to keep him flat on the ground and pull this leg towards me. At this point, I'm going to hook my foot inside of his knee and then as his spine uncoils once again, ride him over to be mounted. If your opponent is using the technique to mount from side control used in the level 1, halfway through there's an opportunity for you to defend. Essentially, whenever he swings his leg over, at this point my leg is committed, which would stop me from being arched back over. So at this time, Jeremy could extend this arm and raise his hips and come up on top. If, however, he goes too early, my leg would be able to stop me. So it's kind of a timing move. As I step over, my leg is committed too far, I can't get it back. He can extend his arm, come up on top. Another option your enemy may have for achieving the mount is to simply drive one of his knees across. Now the good news is, as he drives his leg across, there's a moment right here when he's putting the weight on this knee, when the weight comes off his back leg. So as he drives to the knee, he'll lift the back and go out that side. So another angle, as I'm driving that leg across, You can see as the weight goes on my knee, it comes off my back leg. So he's going to use his forearm on my thigh to lift that leg up, and to simply go underneath it, make the shrimping motion, and then recompose the guard. Many times you'll find yourself where your opponent has control of one of your legs. This is called the half guard. If I find myself in this position, what I want to do is first gain control of his head. After I've done that, I want to take my arm and snake it through his armpit here so I have his head and arm, and I'm going to push with my shoulder his face to sort of turn his spine away from me. At this point, I'm going to walk my foot up using a heel-toe method. And as I get close up to him, I'm going to bring my hand to his knee. I'm going to shake back and forth, and as I do this, I'm going to push and pull so that my knee pops out. Once it's done so, I'm going to push my weight forward on that leg like this. Most of the time, he will put his hand on my leg to push it back inside. So as he attempts that, I'm going to bring my hand underneath his armpit out to his elbow, and then walk that arm up towards his head to get a good grip on his head. Now at this point, he's still wrapped up on one of my ankles. So what I want to do is make sure he's flat on his back by controlling his arm and his head together. And I'm going to take my foot on the back side and hook it on top of his leg. I'm going to use that as a lever to pull my other foot free to secure the mounted position.